That's why I didn't end up losing out. So many people would just wait for price to get into the zone and then they would take it short and they wonder why they keep losing. The zone is only one part of it. Once we've got the zone, I'm going to show you today how to avoid those constant misses on trades. And the reason why I'm consistently taking profits out the marketplace is through my fail-safe plan that I follow every single day. I'm going to talk you through this trade that we took on Ethereum USD with our Discord group in the week. I'm going to post a couple of snippets here and here, maybe, of the analysis that we did in the group so you can see what we were looking at. And I'm going to show you exactly how and why I got into this trade, why the trade works so well. And at the end of the video, I'm going to show you exactly what I do every single day to make sure I can continually take trades like this over and over again. Now, if you're not doing this already, please make sure you're subscribed to the channel so you make sure that you don't miss any of these drops. So let's just talk through from a higher time frame perspective what's actually happening here on Ethereum. So let's look at the market and we'll just zoom out. Let's have a look at the 4-hour time frame. Okay. Now, market prices, when we were looking at this, were back here. Okay. And a lot of the time, what we're seeing on this is we've got this kind of major range here. Got that major range there and price has swept it. So for a lot of people, they'll be looking at it and thinking, do you know what? I'm going to take that short. But what I don't like about this is how much liquidity and imbalance we have above. It doesn't make sense to me for price to come all the way up here and not take out some more of this liquidity above, because ultimately, although that is the last most recent move, that has only broken internal structure. And the actual move, if you were to expand this back, the actual move that's broken this major swing point or this major wick down here was actually this entire move down. So for me, I really want price to come into that premium area. Now, in that premium area, we need to find liquidity points. And the reason why I don't like a short from where we are now, and the reason why I expected high prices, is because A, we've got this imbalance in here. But if you look into these candles, there is no resting liquidity. This is just a straight move down. We've got maybe a tiny bit of imbalance in there, maybe a tiny, not very clear liquidity point there. But for me, I'm just not interested in taking it short. I want a really clear manipulation. So what I was waiting for is either this area, which I've marked here with that daily level, or this area, which we can mark on with a daily level, to be swept. And once we have swept one of those areas, then we're interested in taking a trade from there. Now, prices, you can see, pushing up, we're corrective. You know, we're making all the moves that we'd expect. And actually, we've then got a big engulfing down here. We might even get an MSU setup. But before we get the setup, we have this huge move. And this is exactly why I didn't get into it without confirmation. The beauty of my trading style is I look at the areas that I want to take trades from, and I'm not just trading off the back of just that area on its own. What I want to see is I want to see clear setups, manipulations of the highs. We want to see this price showing us what it's going to do. And when we have moves like this, that is a clear manipulation. We've got a range here that's been created, okay? That range has been created by price, and then this huge move up, creating the ISC there. That candle formation, that push up above liquidity and immediate push down, that for me is a signal to get into the trades all day long. Now, all we're waiting for is once we have that setup is we're looking for our manipulation setup. So this is an indication that we're going to go short, okay? And then once we've gone short, a manipulation of that, which is what we had here. Now, as we didn't have any engulfing, I think I must have been busy at work. As we didn't have an engulfing once we've created our manipulation setup. So the manipulation setup is the push down, the push up, the push down, and then the manipulation. So that is a manipulation because we've cleared out buy-side liquidity and we've created some downward structure, and then we've manipulated that downward structure. Okay, that is a manipulation setup. And as you can see here, we start to get our engulfing pattern, and that's where I entered the trade. Okay, this is where we've started to get into it. Now, because it wasn't as clean as I would have liked it to be, and it's not on the lower time frame, I wasn't confident really tightening that stop up. And if I had tightened it up, I might have actually been stopped out of it. I can't remember. No, actually, I think it just goes off without. So look, we could have taken it really, really tightly like that. But I like to play it safe sometimes. I don't trade Ethereum often. I was only really looking at this because one of the members in the group was looking at it. But as you can see, we then start pushing down, and we very, very quickly get to our target. And this is a really simple 2.5% out of the marketplace. And the reason why I was able to catch a trade like this, and this is really my secret weapon, it won't be a surprise to lots of you, but it makes a massive, massive difference when you are taking your trades, okay? What you all have to do is you have to plan your zones, okay? You have to plan your zones. You have to plan where you want trades to be appearing from. The beauty of the way that we trade is we can wait for price to get to an area, and you can see it didn't even give me a setup there. That's why I didn't end up losing out. So many people would just wait for price to get into the zone, and then they would take it short, and they wonder why they keep losing. The zone is only one part of it. Once we've got the zone that we're interested in, we're then waiting for manipulation. Once we've then got the manipulation, we're then waiting for the manipulation setup. So there's 3 moving parts in the way that I trade and the way that I can teach you to trade if you're interested. All you need to do is send me a message on Instagram @StrongMoneyForex and I can get you in the mentorship group. But ultimately what we're looking for is we're looking for particular setups. Now what I'd highly recommend that you do, and what I do on a regular basis, is I draw out my setups and I predict how they're going to play out. So the first prediction was that if price had come into this area and rejected, what I'd be looking for is I'd be looking for a manipulation, clear manipulation, then a false move, then another manipulation, and then my setup. And if we had that, that would be a trade I'd be happy to take all day long. We've got our manipulation setup there, which we can mark on like that. We have a raid on the highs, which we can mark on like this. Okay, we've got our raid on the highs. So that's our raid. And we've got our fake breaker structure down here. So that's our fake breaker structure. That's a price pushing down, pretending that it's going short, and then giving us another raid at the top. Then we start to make the bearish structure. This is the final push. What happens here is when you get that initial push down, loads of people sell into the marketplace. People think that you're safe trading smart money. You're not. It's manipulated just as much as any other retail strategy. So what happens here is price starts pushing down. It tricks people into thinking that it's going bearish, and then it manipulates. It liquidates all of you out of your positions, okay? So I'm waiting for that to happen. Once I've got the fake breaker structure, now I'm getting involved. And you'll notice how many times this happens in the market over and over and over again. Wait for that fake breaker structure. You might miss the odd trade here or there, but you're not going to miss many. Once we've then got our fake breaker structure, we wait for our manipulation. We wait for our engulfing of the manipulation, stop above the high, hold down to the low, really nice trade. So that was my first setup. If that had appeared in this area, I would have taken it all day long, because that's a clear indication that we're going bearish. But what I preferred, and my option 2, was this setup here, which was a manipulation of these highs, okay? So taking out these highs like we got almost perfectly. Let's move that up here, move that up there. And then the same manipulation setup like we had here, like we had there, before we go short. That for me is exactly what I was looking for. And the trick to making sure that you catch these trades is forecasting them like this. Making sure that you are only ever taking trades that you've planned. Okay? The old saying goes, failure to prepare is preparing to fail. If you fail to prepare, then you have to get ready for the fact that you might actually fail. For me, I had 2 setups I was looking for. If that happened, I would have taken it. If that happened, I would have taken it. And I took the second one because that's the one I got. And I would have taken a loss on this one happily if I'd got this setup afterwards, because I've planned for it. So when you know what your setups are and you know what you're looking for, all you've got to do is you then just got to wait for them to happen and appear. And it takes so much guesswork out of the marketplace. So many of you are losing at trading over and over and over again at the moment because you fail to plan your trades. And not only that, you just wait for price to get into the zone. And then you take the trade short. And then you wonder why you keep getting stopped out. You need moving parts to your trading strategy. You need, if this happens, then wait for that. If that happens, then wait for this. And when this happens, take your trade. You need those moving parts. And if you don't have those moving parts, you're probably going to lose. Now, the difficulty is coming to terms with the fact that if you don't have those moving parts, you're probably going to be taking lots less trades. Okay, if you're waiting for 3, 4, 5 different things to happen in the marketplace before you take a trade, you're probably going to be taking less trades. But I promise you this, if you build a plan like that and you build a strategy like that, you will make more money trading than you have ever made before. So take my word for it. Trust me, I've been doing this for years. Start building your plan around your forecast, around your analysis. Plan your trades, plan exactly what you want to happen and when you want it to happen. And when you see it, action it, and then you can learn from it. And the best part about this is that you will then gradually learn over time what you're doing right and what you're doing wrong. So if you learned something today, or if you forecast your trades, or if you know any of these elements that you include in your training, I'd love to hear about it. Put it in the comments below, and make sure you got those notifications on so you catch me in the next drop. Thank you.